I want to share this mini lapbook junk journal with you that I've created during the last few days and nights. I had so much fun creating this little cutie, and I'm hoping that you enjoy to flip through it with me today. Perhaps you can find some inspiration for your own lapbook creations as well. Hi there, this is Luise Heinzel. Welcome to my channel Junk Journal Art. Thank you very much for joining me today. As you can see, I have something really tiny to share with you. That's this mini lapbook junk journal that I've created. It's a mini journal, as I said, but I have constructed this like I would construct a bigger lapbook. And yeah, I would like to give you a flip through of this cutie today. I have put this pen here next to the journal so that you can approximately compare how tiny this is. But of course, I can also give you the exact measurements of this book. So it's 10 centimeters in width. It is approximately 15 centimeters high, and the spine is about 5 centimeters. I have named this book number 710, even if this is not the number of journals that I've made in my life. But I found this cute little stamp in the Field Notes stamp collection by Tim Holtz, and I thought this would fit really, really well to this little label and to the book itself, because this is some heavy name. It gives it a little bit more weight. Do you know what I mean? The spine I have created in this, this vintage book style way. I don't know exactly how this is called, but this is raised a little bit. So I have used a normal book spine for this. So it's a hard spine, as you can hear, and I have cut it to the right height, and then I have cut little strips from the rest and put them here, and then I covered this whole thing with fabric, and I dyed it with some Distress Oxide inks. And I have used a relatively new paper collection from my Etsy shop to create the pages and this whole design. I will tell you something about that when you see the pages inside. So here I have made this little embellishment out of a vintage button. This button comes from the collection of my mother, and so she has passed away a few years ago, and my father has gifted her button collection to me, and this is something really special for me because all of those buttons are so special and such a big memory to my childhood, and I thought I would like to give this cover a special thing with this button. I've also included this little bulb pin here with these rosé golden little things here, and I've added this little ginkgo leaf here. You can also find a ginkgo leaf here on this little bulb pin, and here I will tell you later something about this section where these ginkgo leaves are. And yeah, so I think we could open this front part here. So this opens like this, and it's held together with a magnet here. So perhaps you can hear that. It's really hard to show that in camera, but this closes automatically, so it can't fall off. If you turn the journal like this and you turn it to the other side, this will not fall off because here's a magnet. So when you open it like this, you have this. I have made a little tuck spot here with this cute little girl that's sitting here and it's looking at you. And here there's a little journaling card. And all of these things, all of the papers like this journaling card or this little girl come from my new paper collection that's called Watching Over You. That can be found in my Etsy shop, of course. I will link those items down below in the description box. There are several items that can be combined with each other. Some collage papers, some junk journal papers with more vintage girls like this, some birds and that stuff. You will see that later in the rest of the journal. And here we have a little envelope that also closes with a magnet, as you can hear, so that that this area is not too bulky. And yeah, so you can put some things inside this little envelope here, a journaling card. This can be used as a hidden journaling spot, for example. And something, before I go on, I would like to mention these little elements that you can see here with those circles were gifted to me by my dear friend Sonja. She is known as Elise Klatschmohn on Instagram. So if you want to check out her work, please check out the info box. I have linked her Instagram down below. And I thought these neutral colors would fit really well to the rest. So I have used several of those embellishments in this journal. So we have this, and when we close it, we can open it like this in the other direction as well. And this is also closed with a magnet, so that it closes like this, and you can, yeah, close it without any problems. And here you can see I have a magnet that is visible. You can remove that and it will still close, but if you put some ephemera into this front part, you will need this second magnet to give you this closure that it is really secure. So I have left this here that you can yeah, remove it or put it back here so that you have the most variety of things that you can put inside here, and yeah, you know, the most flexibility. This whole thing can be taken out like this. So here we have this little flip. Here there's a little pocket, so you could also, of course, exchange this little thing. You could put something else in here to make a new cover. You could personalize this cover. If you don't like this, just take it out. And yeah, so you could also, of course, take this little guy and take it with you to collect some things. Here's a little pocket as well where you could put some tiny ephemera in. You could use this for collecting tickets or something like that during a travel or yeah, whatever. And then when you come back, you can just put it back inside here like this, and it will stay here. So I have made this little closure here to hold everything together, because here is lots of stuff inside, as you can see. For that, I have used these little things here that are some like crocodile clamps, or I don't know the English word. I have made this little thing here so that you can open that here like this. And as you can see, when it's open, you have this part with the closure here. And on the other side, I have left a little bit of this thing here so that you have the chance to make this part a little bit longer. If you fill the journal and it gets bigger, then you have the chance to take this material and make the closure a little bit bigger so that it still can be closed and that everything can be held together. Okay, so let's open this. When you open it, it opens like this, and you can see here on the left side we have the first part of this lapbook style thingy. And here is a little bulb pin. You can just open this, and then you can open this little thing here, and you will have a little notepad here. So I have put several papers in here. This is some tea-dyed paper and some of my absolutely favorite paper that I have bought in Rome. And you can open this completely so that you have some journaling space here. And here I've attached this papers here with some buttons, so you could easily remove this and put some other papers in here. You could tear them off, use them as scraps for collages or whatever. And then perhaps if you want, you could put some other papers in here just by sewing them back here into this little thing with those buttons. So when you have that, we can just close this, and this is a really simple closure. I have made this little thing covered with fabric, and when you turn that around, you have this section of the journal, and you can just take the bulb pin, put it through this little fake tag here, through this eyelet, and then put this back here and just close this bulb pin, and it will stay here with its little ginkgo leaf. Okay, so when we flip this over, you can see this little pocket here. I have filled that up with some tickets and some tiny journaling cards. And as I said, this tag here is only a fake, so it's on the first pocket here. It's glued down so that it is really sturdy when this bulb pin is in here, that it holds this thing together, this little pocket, booklet, scrap, notepad thing. I don't know how you would like to call it. So yeah, this holds that. And here we have, come out, we have a little journaling card. Then we have several tickets. So these are some tickets that I bought somewhere, I don't know where. They are white on the back side, so that you have the chance to journal on little things here as well. So these are not original vintage tickets. That's what I want to say, so that you know that. So these go here. And in the second pocket, I have another of these tickets here with a blank backside, and another journaling card. And this is also from this paper collection, Watching Over You, that I've mentioned before. Here on the back side, I have stamped a little bit and put a little sticker so that you still have journaling space here. So let's put that back in here. So this is a double pocket, as you hopefully can see. I wanted to have this like some kind of overloaded. So we have one pocket here, and the other pocket is here made out of this brown paper, so that you can put your things in here in a very, how can you say that in English? In a layered way. I really love these overloaded looks of pockets. Here on this little, on this side, we have this little thing. You could open this whole thing here. So let me just show you. I've made it that you can just take out this card as it is. So here it's a journaling card. This little embellishment thing comes from my friend Sonja as well. And on the back side, we have some journaling space as well. And as I said, you could open this here, and then you would have this look here to this girl and this birdie here. And this says, fall in love with souls, not faces. And that's also from my paper collection that's called Watching Over You. So that's the main theme of this paper collection, those birds that are watching over those children and women and that stuff. Okay, so you could put this back in here, and this is wide enough, or I mean high enough, so that you could also put more things into this little pocket here than only one journaling card. So I've left, of course, space so that you can just fill that up with your own stuff. Okay, so let's flip back. Then we are here again, and then we can, of course, flip it to the other side like this. And here I have an original vintage document that's written in German. This card is some kind of special to me because, I mean, I'm not an expert in reading what is written here because this writing is so old. But when I read this, I can read the name Heinzel here, if it says my own name. And I wanted to put this special card in here. So here we have another journaling card, and the special thing about this is you can take it off like this, and then you have it here, space for journaling, collaging, or whatever here, and some plain journaling space on the back side. I have put some gesso here to this brownish paper so that you can write more easily here. And as you can see, it goes in its place automatically because here are 4 magnets in this card and 4 magnets underneath this paper here, so that it just goes here and it can't fall off. And This is also meant to use as, how is that called, a book board or a writing board. So you could take this off, and if you want to journal in one of the signatures, you can put that here behind one page, flip the page so that you can write here, even if something a little bit more bulky like this flower here is on the other side, so that you would have no problems to write on the pages, even if there's some embellishments. So you can take that and put that here and take it off as often as you want it. I'm a little bit fascinated that this goes here into place automatically. This is this a belly band? No, yes, sorry. This is a belly band. So you could put some things behind here. And if you perhaps are asking from where those stamps here come, this is also the Field Notes stamp collection by Tim Holtz. Every stamp that you can see here during the whole journal, that's all the Field Notes stamp collection by Tim Holtz. I will also link that down below for you if you are interested in having that. So you can flip this back. Okay, so then when you flip to the next thing, we have a total of 3 signatures in this lap book. As you can see here, they are here, 1, 2, 3. And yeah, let's flip through the signatures and let's see what's inside here. So this is also from this paper collection, Watching Over You, as I said, some birds, some vintage people and that stuff, and I've tried to find some matching papers like this wonderful paper that I got in a Happy Mail the other day. And I've tried to make some really neutral decorations so that you can fill this up with your own things that you want. So here we have a ticket in this little tuck spot here that I have decorated with this little flower and this little button on top. And when you take that out, you can see this little floral thing. That's just a washi sticker that I've put here. This page is also from this printable, Watching Over You, and this says, if you don't know where you are going, any road will take you there. And I really, really love this quote. And by the way, I have printed out this paper collection, a little bit smaller, of course, to make it fit into this journal. So don't be confused if you want to go to my Etsy shop and if you want to have this paper collection for your journals. Of course, you will get it in a full size, format, so that you can print it to a normal US letter page or a DIN A4 page, and that you also can, of course, make a normal sized journal out of this. I have just printed this half size so that it fits here into this little lap book here. And of course, you could do that for your own journals as well. In this paper collection, Watching Over You, you will find some pages that have only the birds. And there are some pages that have the birds and the people. So I thought I would like to make it a little bit more versatile for you. So you will also find some neutral pages, some journaling backgrounds without any birds, without any people. And you will also find some collage paper in this paper collection, so that you can combine all of those available items like you want them. This year I've made with a spray and a stencil. This is a really strange mixture I made out of an empty ink pad and some alcohol. So I took an ink pad that was nearly empty. So it's not the color, but it's the same brand. So it was a StazOn ink pad like this. It was, I think, timber brown. And I have used that until it was empty. And I decided that I don't want to have the refiller for the ink pad. So I have decided to just open it. And even if it's empty, of course, there's still much ink in such an ink pad. And because this is waterproof, I have put some alcohol on top, put the ink pad without this lid, of course, inside of my bowl. And then I have soaked that overnight, and then I had a cool spray that I have sprayed here to these pages to create this brown stenciling here. And I've also spritzed that to some of the other pages so that they look really, really grungy. And I think this is the first journal where I've inked all of the edges. So every page is distressed on the edges, and I think that's the first journal that I've ever made that, and I will definitely do that in the future again, because I think that makes a really big difference. In the past it was not so important for me to have all those edges distressed, but since I made it, I want to do it in the future again. So here in this little tuck spot, we have a little neutral tag that you can use for collages or whatever, and this washi sticker that looks like a postage stamp. So we can put that in here. And I've tried to use the same stencil during this whole journal. I have this one and some dots as well, so that it looks not too, whimsical and that stuff. Here we have a really simple collage as well. I've stamped to the background, and then I've put this little washi sticker in black and white here on top. Here's another tuck spot that I've also created with this paper collection that I've mentioned. And here we have 2 tags inside here. So yeah, that you can use for journaling or create whatever you want. So that's the end of the first signature. So here the second signature begins. And here I've made a little, collagey, grungy thingy. I have just teared the page here, and then I've just folded it over and distressed this with some distress oxide. This is the color Walnut Stain, and it dries with water. Activated with water, it dries really grayish, bluish, and that fits really, really well to this whole color palette, I would say. This is a little tuck spot as well. So let me just grab a piece of papers to show you. So you can put something in here. So that's nearly a belly band. So you can put it here. And you could also put something in here behind this little birdie there. And I've also put some pieces of masking tape into this journal. I've distressed the tape, and then I've stamped also with the Field Notes stamp collection by Tim Holtz. And I really like this combination of the different materials. I mean, it's so hard to show that in the camera, but if you feel over this, it's really, really, it's glossy, and it's, how is that called? Slippery. I don't know if that's the right word, and this feels totally different. This is also a piece of this masking tape. I've just distressed it and then stamped to it and glued it down with the help of some additional glue so that it sticks really well here. And then here we have a little pocket with 2 little things inside. The one is this little label here and this little tag. And then we have some special pages that are following here that have these little holes, because I have put this little flower here and I have put these little metal things here on top, and they are really raised. Can you see that? It's like a little, it's a little like a little silver cake or something like that in the middle of this flower. And this is, of course, relatively bulky for such a small journal and such a, In a bigger journal, this would be absolutely no problem. But here, when I closed the journal, I always looked to this little thing. And I thought, how could I solve this problem? And I've just taken a hole punch and I've punched through the next few pages. So as you can see, through all of these pages, we have these little holes. And when I now flip here to here, then this is, it goes through here. And when you close it, you can't see it here anymore because it's totally covered up because of those holes. And I think that's also a great addition so that you can look through these holes and perhaps wonder why they are there. So I thought it could be a funny thing as well. And if you flip this, of course, you can see this middle part of the flower through every hole of these pages here. And one thing that I also want to mention about my paper collection Watching Over You is something about this page. As you can see, here are some dragonflies, and these are the only dragonflies that are visible during this whole kit, and that has a special reason. When I have created this kit with those vintage girls and those people that you can see with the birds, so this arrangement here, for example, I was totally inspired by my dear friend Barbara, known as 49 Dragonflies. She has created a collage with a bird the other day where a child was sitting on the neck of the bird. And I was so inspired by this collage that I thought perhaps I could make something similar in a similar way and turn that into a whole paper collection. And when I sat on my computer and when I created that, I was like, shall I ask her if that is okay for her? And of course, I've asked her if it's okay for her that I make this paper collection inspired by her. So I would like to mention that. And that's also the reason why I have put those dragonflies into this paper collection. And that's because I wanted to have something that reminds me to the inspiration that I had when I created this kit. So this is dedicated to 49 dragonflies. Here I've tried something that I have never done before. As you can see, this is a really shiny metal. No, I mean, it's not real metal, but it looks like metal washi tape. And as you can see, some of those areas are not as shiny as others. And I have put a really weird mixture of glue, coffee, and gesso on top of this so that it looks a little bit more grungy and not so extremely shiny. But I wanted to have this metal elements here in this journal because I have these rosé golden little pearls here on these black bulb pins, and I think this is a really cool combination with this brownish and greenish colors, and I wanted to have something on the pages as well, and that's the reason why I have put this tape here and covered that up with this little bit old looking vintage mixture of weird things. So here's another collage from this paper collection. This says, all seasons are beautiful when you carry happiness within. Also here we have this little thing here that's now part of this page, and I'm really happy about this solution and this idea. So here's another pocket with some plain ephemera in it. Here we have another belly band and this little tag and this little ephemera piece here. So that's not an original piece, but it looks really, really old with this coffee dyeing, and you could also use it as a journaling space, of course. So let's put that back in here. And I've also tried to include some fabric and lace elements. For example, here, this little ruffle covers the staple that I've used here to make this belly band really secure. So it's glued, and then I've stapled it so that it holds really, really good in place. And I wanted to cover the back of the staple. So I have put this little button with the fabric and the lace there to the top, and this little ruffle here to the bottom with this little bird and this little washi sticker here. Yeah. This was so much fun. This was so much fun. Even if I thought such a small journal, I mean, this is only a little bit of paper. It would be perhaps easier to create than a bigger journal. But I think the opposite thing is the fact. It was really, really much work, and I have not expected that it's so different making such a tiny journal than making a normal sized journal, but I will definitely do this in the future again. And oh, here, by the way, in the beginning I have told you this book is called book number 710, and this is the 75th journal that I have made. So I'm stamping the number of the journal into every of my journals, and then here's my signature, Luise Heinzel, so that, yeah, you know that I have created it. So journal number 75, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. And here I've made another collage trying to put some other colors into this color palette. I've used this blue, and also here I've used a blue button to decorate this paper flower on this little collage. And I think this blue gives it something like, yeah, you know, you are flipping through this and then you think, oh, what's that? A different color. There's no blue, and nearly no blue on the other pages, but I thought it would fit really, really well to this grayish background that I have in my printable here. And I think sometimes we need this pop of color that goes, yeah, a little bit out of the box from what we have used for the other pages, and it will still match. I'm hoping that you can see it the same. I mean, it's only my personal opinion, of course. So here's this blue again, so that the other blue is not so alone. But I think this fits also really, really well to the rest and makes this like a double spread. This is a page from my printable, and I've tried to give this a frame with this collage here. This is another little collage that I've made, a washi sticker here in the background, then a little scrap, and all of these things also come from my printable, except this little banner here on top. This is a really tiny punch that I have that makes these little banners here, and this is from this jelly print, and this little banner comes from the Watching Over You ephemera pack. And here underneath there's just some coffee dyed paper, and on the very bottom some lace. Okay, so yeah, here we have another belly band that's also made out of one of these elements that Sonja alias Elise Klatschmohn has gifted to me. Here we have some removable embellishment, ephemera, little tuck spot here, and I've tried to put some really tiny things in here, like those little tags and those little tickets, because, yeah, if it's too long and too big and too massive, it wouldn't fit to such a tiny journal, I would say. I've also tried to find some really tiny buttons for my decoration here on the sides of the tuck spots or on in other places. And also here for the decoration of the flowers, I've tried to find some really tiny things that I can put on top here. And of course, in those signatures, there's much journaling space. I wanted to have this decorated, but also, of course, space for journaling. And I think especially when such a journal is so small, you need much space. Because, yeah, your handwriting has you know, a size as well, and you want to have some space here for your own creativity, of course. So here, this page in the background comes from my printable as well, and it has this little frame on top. Normally it's white in the middle. You have seen some of those frames on the other pages, and I have put this washi postage stamp here because I thought that fits so well. This woman here fits so well to the other images in the printable. I thought that looks just great, and I've made a little collage with my masking tape that I have stamped on, and this little other washi tapes here. And yeah, so that's almost the end of the third signature. This is a little pocket as well. And then on the back of this journal we have another hidden area where you can store some ephemera, or where you of course also can make some journaling. You can open this closure here with this little bulb pin as well. Then it opens like this, and this opens like this, and this opens like this. So it seems to be, when it's like this, it seems to be that here's a pocket. I've made that it's a little bit, yeah, some kind of an illusion that you have a pocket here where you can put something in here. But when you put your finger here and you open that, you will see that there's something totally different than you have expected, perhaps. This little thing holds this journaling card, and all these things are also made with this Watching Over You paper collection. This is some of the collage paper mixed with the more neutral journaling pages. So you can put that in here, and then you can open this like this. You can see this beautiful image here with this bird that's watching over this girl. And here on the top, on this flip, there's another double pocket with some tiny tags, like this one, for example, and some tickets as well with these beautiful butterflies, and another tag. And this is also stamped with the Field Notes stamp collection by Tim Holtz. I really like to use these number stamps on such tiny things. I mean, you could use this as a base for your own creativity, of course, and you can just put something tiny on top. Oopsala. Like, for example, such a sticker, and you are done. I think this looks really, really cute. And this, yeah, can be filled up with those tiny things. And when you close that, you can hear, hopefully, that here is a magnet as well. So it holds this down so that when you fill that up with more things and you close that you will have no problems with the bulk inside of this little flip here. I have put the magnet underneath of this little circle and one in the flip so that it holds this whole thing together really, really well. And here on the other side, we have a similar thing, like on the left side. Here we have this little pocket that holds these tickets here. And just put them back in here. And this also flips out, but to the bottom like this. And here we have this little pocket as well, and I think this is one of the most beautiful pockets I've ever made. I don't know how you see that, but I'm so in love with this pocket. So here in the last page we have some more tickets. As I said, I've tried to put in here really tiny ephemera, and without the ephemera it looks like this. So it could be a collage for itself as well. And I take this ticket to demonstrate what's here. So here's another pocket. You could put something in here as well. I left this because, of course, I want to have the new owner some space to put things inside here so that it's not too full in the beginning. So then we can flip this here. This holds this is held by a magnet as well. So one is here in this little flip and the other one is hidden there under this circle, and it closes really, really well, so that you also could take some bigger piece of paper. So let me just take this scrapbooking piece. It's a little bit too big, I think, but you know what I mean. So you could also put that behind there and it would be really sturdy in there. It would be no problem when this is inside there to close that. And yeah, you would have no bulk because of the magnets there. Okay, so then we can just close that here. So here is a little thing with an eyelet, as you can see, where you can put this piece on top, take this little bulb pin, put that through the eyelets like this, close it, and then this whole section is closed and nothing can fall out. Yeah, so that's it. That's my little crunchy mini lapbook junk journal. I nearly can't say this word. So let's close it. I want to thank you very much for watching this video and for being here with me on this special day, because this is a really, really special thing for me. It's so cute. I would like to take it with me everywhere I go. But yeah, I can't. Okay, so thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you could get some inspiration for your own journals, perhaps. See you the next time. Stay creative and stay healthy. See you. Bye bye.